Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Gull Lake United Methodist Church's daily devotion. And today is the devotion for Monday, February 12th. The title of this morning's devotion is Out of My Comfort Zone, and our author's name is John Brown, who is writing to us from Minnesota. So the passage that we will be reading this morning that goes with John's devotion is Psalm 23. And we will read the entire thing, which is verses 1 through 6. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now that was the reading from the New International Version. Maybe your version and the one you've memorized might be just a little bit different wording. And so the verse that it also goes along with the devotion this morning is from John chapter 10, verse 10, where Jesus says, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. So let's hear the devotion that John has shared this morning. Many years ago, I was asked to go on a mission trip abroad. I declined because of numerous conflicts, family activities, work demands, and other commitments. I thought the next trip would fit my schedule better. But after a few more years and opportunities, I still had not participated. Then, in 2005, I was invited to go on a mission trip to Guatemala. Even though many of the same conflicts still existed, I felt God nudging me to go. As I prayed about the opportunity, I realized that my conflicts were really excuses to avoid stepping out of my comfort zone. I did go on that trip, followed by 7 more trips over the next 8 years. As we offered our help to those we encountered, I also gained a better perspective on the meaning of abundant life. The people we met possessed joy, peace, and love for God, the abundant life. That made a lasting impression on me. That first trip was a small investment of time, but a big step in my walk of faith because I was willing to leave the familiar and move forward in faith, trusting God. I starred 2 things that I thought were valuable in John's devotion this morning, and that was his use of the term abundant life. So those folks that he met in Guatemala were living what he called the abundant life, and not because of what their finances might be. No, it was because they possessed joy, peace, and love for God. That's a good one to think about and apply maybe to our lives. And as John says, it made a lasting impression on him. And then he goes on to say, those excuses that he found back when he first decided not to go on the mission trip were just that. They were excuses. And he found out that, all it was a small investment of time in the whole big scheme of thing. And that small investment of time resulted in a big step in his faith journey. And all because he convinced himself to leave the familiar and move forward out of his comfort zone using trust in God. Some really good lessons John left us today. And the thought for the day is God provides many opportunities for us to say yes. Mostly it's being like John and taking that step, that trust in God, and getting out of our comfort zone. And if we're lucky, maybe we will meet people that are living the abundant life on those when you step out of your comfort zone. And so today's prayer focus is mission trip participants. So maybe that's yourself, maybe you know of folks, adults and youth that have been on mission trips, and pray for them today. And with that, we'll close with a prayer. God of second chances, open our hearts so that we will be ready to respond to your call. Help us to be obedient to you, to discern your will for our lives, and to go forward in faith. Amen. I hope this gives you plenty to think about as you go about the rest of your Monday. I want to thank you for taking the time to spend here with me. I do appreciate it, and I hope that you have a good rest of your week. Lent starts on Wednesday, and we will have a devotion, and we will be using the resource is from Glennis Nellist, and it is a children's book. Actually, it is The Season of Lent, and it's a 40-day devotion and full of stories. But it's got some good learning, even for us adults. And so we're going to be using that. It starts Wednesday. So if you have a chance, depending on where you pick up my devotions at, you go to Gull Lake United Methodist Church's Facebook page and you can find those, and maybe add that to your Lent experience and add those devotions. I think you'll see that we learn a lot about God's love in the next 40 days. Again, thanks for being here with me today, and I hope you have a week that feels God moving in and around and through you in your walk of faith. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.